Hi, I'm Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog, and this is one of the entries in my series entitled Bully Backup. I'm here to help you if you feel like you're being bullied, or maybe even you feel kind of rejected by society or alone or left out. This is to help you. Now, this is perhaps the most challenging of all my videos because the other ones definitely obviously build you up. This one, instead, it challenges you. This video will challenge you. What I'm challenging you to do is turn the camera inward. Instead of saying, they don't like me, they won't talk to me, they won't hang out with me, they judge me. Instead of looking at that perspective, you think to yourself, well, what could I do better? Now, I mean, because you've heard that saying, you just got to be yourself. That's all you got to do. And yeah, that's true. But on the other extreme, there is the fact that sometimes you do have to improve yourself so that things can get better for you. So while you shouldn't be somebody else, you always want to learn how to improve yourself. That's definitely important. Now, the way I'm going to attempt to help you with this is I've got a little list here. And on one side, it's the habits of those who are victorious. On the other side, it's those who are victims. And I've mentioned this before, that you ultimately get to decide whether you're the victim. You get to decide whether you're offended by someone's words. That's your choice. They can't force you to be offended. You have to choose that their words offended you, right? So ultimately, you can choose not to be the victim. You can choose to be the victor in the situation on a daily basis, right? So we're going to look at the habits of the victors versus the victims. And I hope this helps you because it's greatly helped me. It's greatly enhanced my life. So let's get started. If you're a victor, if you're victorious, then you compliment others. You make it your goal throughout the day. How can I find ways to truly, legitimately compliment other people? How can I bring them up? Now, meanwhile, if you have a victim mentality, you criticize others. And I think that's interesting because if you are being bullied to some degree by others, they're criticizing you, aren't they? So they've got that victim mentality. Who goes around criticizing people if they feel good about themselves? I feel great about myself, but I don't have the need to go around criticizing other people. So the thing you want to do is you want to make a goal of complimenting people throughout the day and finding ways to compliment them. And if you're criticized, learn from it if you can, if it's constructive. And if you can't learn from it, remind yourself not to be offended by it, because you have to give them permission of your emotions to be offended by it. The next thing is this: someone who's victorious embraces change. Yet someone who is a victim fears change. So it could be that part of what's making you feel out of place in society is there may be some kind of change in your life. You may be in a different grade in school or move to a new place. And there is that a legitimate fear of the unknown. I don't know how to cope with this. But how can you embrace that change? How can you find ways? And something I said in my other video is find that person, like I was to other people, that's not in a clique, not in a group, who's out there, just friends with everyone. You want allies like that. Next, a victor, someone who's victorious, forgives others. Meanwhile, a victim holds grudges. And I think that could be something that easily holds anyone back. If there's anyone in your life you haven't forgiven, you are a victim by default. Because you can't live with peace. You can't truly be happy if you haven't forgiven people in your lives. No matter what they've done to you, and they may have done some horrible things that I can't even imagine. But ultimately, as long as you're holding a grudge against them, no matter how wrong they were, you can't win. You're going to be in a prison in your own mind, and you can't be free. So you have to find a way to forgive, no matter how hard it is. I know that's hard. It's hard to do, but ultimately you're going to be the one that's missing out, because your worldview is clouded by this if you don't forgive them. Next, someone who's victorious is always learning. You're learning right now, so good for you. You're watching this video, and I'm teaching you some things that you've probably never heard, and I'm happy to do that. So someone who's victorious is always learning, but yet someone who is a victim thinks they already know everything. And I'm sure you can think of somebody like that who thinks they know everything. Well, people like that I try to stay away from because they have that victim mentality, and I want to surround myself by people who have the mindset of someone who's victorious instead. Next, someone who's victorious accepts responsibility for their own failures. And I've said this before. I know I'm not perfect. I am aware of the things that are imperfect about me that I can't control, and then those that I am aware of that I need to work on. I'm aware of them. I delight in learning how I'm not perfect, because if I can improve it, I'm going to improve it. So I accept responsibility for my failures. I don't blame someone else, yet someone who is a victim is going to blame someone else for their failures. Take stock right now. Can you think of how you're blaming other people for failures in your life? Or is part of that your fault? And can you own up to that so you can move past it? And it could go back to the forgiveness thing, right? Next is this. Someone who's victorious has a sense of gratitude. Can you find ways to be grateful in your life? Good things. Can you look for the good in your life? The blessings in your life? Because your life isn't all doom and gloom, I promise you. If nothing else, you're watching this video. So I'm shedding some light in your universe, right? I care about you, and I'm making this video to try to help you out. So a sense of gratitude. Not it's me against the man, or they did me wrong. But what's good in this world? Can we focus on that? Because otherwise, if you don't have a sense of gratitude, you're going to end up with a sense of entitlement. And again, I don't want to be around someone who has a sense of entitlement. That's just someone that's too much negativity in my life. Next, someone who's victorious sets goals and develops plans. Well, again, you're doing that right now by watching my video. And I hope you're writing these down or watching the video again if you need to. Because without a plan, where are you going to end up? Because meanwhile, if a victor is setting plans, setting goals and developing plans, a victim never sets goals. They get thrown by the wind and washed by the sea, and they're a victim. Now, I'm going to close with this thought. Closing thought is this. Now that you've heard the difference between a victor and a victim, you can tell I'm the victor. I'm doing these things to the best of my ability. Are you a victim? Are you a victor? Which one are you? And then the other question I have for you, think of the people in your life, in your social circle, that are victims and victors. What can you do to surround yourself with more victors instead of more victims? My name is Nick Shell with Family Friendly Daddy Blog. Leave comments if you want to. I can always make more videos. I'm here to help you. Thanks for watching.